You're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there. 83 yards. So close, couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
We'll see if they reward him on this next play. So that's about as long a non-scoring play as you're going to see from inside their own 10 to 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first-quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the 1st down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them down, and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Back to throw here. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. This will be fielded at the 8. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a nice spin into some open field. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big 1st down to get away from the end zone.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
A touchdown apiece here in this 1st quarter of play. It's a tight game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands, That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Now let's go.
Now they try the right side here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. Going up top. It's caught at the 10. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They're going to look to throw. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point attempt here still to come. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. And his throw here is incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Green 39. Green 39.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Now let's go.
Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a great example there, just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better, that they work on training camp, off-season work, OTAs, but also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
The extra point splits the uprights, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So that drives 7 plays in length. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now they try the right side here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And now back out comes the offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding.
Set, 3-19.
And they'll go on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Simmons. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. They'll set up a throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they take a 17-14 lead. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
Sometimes you get just a little over-eager defensively when you got people backed up, because the mentality is to attack, take the ball away, or at worst, just keep them backed up there for your own offense. They actually used their aggressiveness against them on that one and hit them big.
Absolutely. Had him pinned on the 2. Not anymore. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Set. 3-19.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Let's go. Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
14 seconds, all that's left to this first half as they come up on first down.
Let's go.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
That'll make it 1st and 15. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go now.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, and that game tied at 7 in the second quarter. From there, let's head over to New Era Field to see what's happening with the Bills. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently, we're going to get right back to it. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He'll drop to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Let's go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, they created a big run. Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. They give him a gain of 37.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And here he'll get it down to the 7. First target, first catch, and a first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now third down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it'll be tipped up and picked off.
And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Simmons. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
They'll drop to throw, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too...
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And just as you called it after the earlier sack, they set up the screen. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. I took your advice from a bit earlier, tried the screen, but that one, it was covered up pretty well.
They did a nice job on it, but I still think it was the right idea. Probably just a block or two away from making it work.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. The offense on third down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances.
Right,
here it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Stanley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching. Back now in Memphis, Tennessee. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Benson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Erickson able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though he threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole, 3rd and long.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. This is taken at the 15. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
And they'll go on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Stanley. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He will push his way down to about the 14. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And his kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a one-score game. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go. Blue line it.
He'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Important extra point up and through, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. He's back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to have a third down. Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
That'll go as a loss of 5, and that's going to bring up a third down. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough. Trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for San Antonio, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Memphis, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.